This is the goalmouth of a very unusual football club. They don't know anybody a penny. They own their own ground. In fact, they're making a profit. And furthermore, they're just one round away from a Wembley appearance. Now, this isn't Liverpool, it isn't Arsenal, it isn't even Manchester United. This club are here in the West Country, and their name? Forest Green Rovers. It's the away leg of the semi-final of the FA Vase this Saturday. They're currently top of the Hellenic League, and they're guaranteed a place in the Southern League next season. That's just 3 steps away from the Football League. The club have spent £30,000 on ground improvements, and they're confident of raising twice that for the higher costs of next season. The secret is their commercial success. That's where they feel other clubs are going wrong.
Well, I think it's most people are running before they can walk. I think Forest Green have always got things in the right order. We've never gone out and bought things before we can afford them, and this has been the policy over the years, and of course it will be maintained. We have plans here to increase the size of the club, for example, and so I mean there are lots of things in the pipeline, but we won't dream of doing them until we know that they're economically viable. A lot of clubs have plunged into debt because they've gone out and spent money which they haven't got, which of course has put them in a dire strait at the end of the day, hasn't it?
The team who play on the lawn at Nailsworth are semi-professionals. During the week, they're sales reps, builders, welders, printers. There's even an accountant. Some of them have league experience, but their most famous player is Graham Day, a Rovers regular before playing for Portland Timbers. And they've all provided the skills this season that have promoted the team to the Southern League.
I think it's going to mean a lot, not only to the club, but to the area. For a long time, we've been a backwater in soccer. Almost a laugh to the people in the other parts of the country. And I think for the first time, Forest Green have got a chance of winning a national competition with local boys. And I think Gloucestershire itself will rejoice.
Almondsbury Greenway were the last local team to reach Wembley back in 1979. Strangely, the two teams were drawn in round 3 of this year's competition, and Forest Green beat them 2-1 after extra time. So all this success for a soccer club which plays in the heart of rugby-loving Gloucestershire. The Southern League boost has made all the difference.
It's going to be harder. I think in some respects the football will be slightly easier for my lads because we have a lot of ability here at Forest Green, and where we're playing in a lower standard where people compete for balls, I think we're going to have people standing off a little bit and letting us play. I think we'll enjoy this. We certainly have the ability, and I would be hoping to go in there to win it.
Meantime, of course, the most immediate goal is actually playing on that turf at Wembley.
Well, it's a dream at the moment. It's hard to keep your feet on the floor, but yeah, every night I go to bed and I wake up and I'm still thinking about Wembley and our chances. I hope for Forest Green and everyone that we really do put ourselves out and win those 2 games.
They've played 6 league sides in friendlies. They even beat a full-strength Rovers team. So with their confidence high, they're still dreaming of that most coveted of football occasions, a Wembley final.
Forest Green of Gloucestershire there. Well, now, Russell Musker of Bristol City takes a fitness test. 4 Saturdays away.
Won the first leg of the FA Vase semi-final. They beat Blue Star 4-1 on Tyneside today. The second leg is next Saturday. Well, from football on to...
Sporting the Forest Green team to Newcastle. A marvellous win for them at Blue Star. Now all... today, and we wish them well, of course. Well, in rugby, we can go...
We're just one match away from reaching a Wembley Cup final. With tickets on sale at the turnstiles, there could be a crowd of 3,000 or 4,000, compared with the usual turnout of around 300. Andrew Harvey reports.
The future is bright. Forest Green Rovers are that footballing rarity, a club with no debts. And their players are just 90 minutes away from Wembley. They beat Blue Star of Newcastle 4-1 last Saturday in the first leg of the FA Challenge Vase semi-final. Founded 92 years ago, Forest Green are currently top of the Hellenic League and are due to move up into the Southern League next season. The players are amateurs, paid nothing more than expenses each week, but many have had league experience, and playing at Wembley is still their dream. The only danger now is overconfidence.
Even though we won on Saturday, we're still very, very nervous as to towards Saturday's game because we should win. We've got to win, but people are saying that we'll do it as if it's a foregone conclusion, and yet really it's anything but.
Oh, come on, lefts!
Bob Marcel is the manager. A company director, he managed Clevedon and Gloucester City before moving to Forest Green, where he admits he's highly impressed with the players.
Yes, best players I could have got hold of.
Really?
Yes, they really are. They've proved it. They've only let in, I think, 12 goals all season. We must have scored about a very large 60 going into 70 in League and Cup. They've done everything I've asked of them. They've battled hard, and we've got a lot of mutual respect in the dressing room.
Is the secret experience? Because you've got an awful lot of experience in this team, haven't you? I'm not saying they're old, but you've got a lot of experience.
Makes my job a lot easier. Makes my job a lot easier. When you've got lads and you turn around and say, we're going to play a certain style today, they've got a very big lad, so we're going to play them into feet and we're going to do this. And you've got lads with the ability and the brain to turn around and do exactly what you ask them to do. And it makes life a lot easier.
I don't want to tempt fate, but how much would it mean to get to Wembley?
An awful lot to Forest Green and the players and an awful lot of nice people. It's a dream of a lifetime. I think we have a very real chance now. I consider, as I said in the papers this week, it's only half-time, but we are 4-1 up at half-time. They've got an awful long journey to do to come down here, and I should think their spirit wouldn't be what it was a week ago. And I think as long as we play exactly the same way, deny them space and time, take our chances, keep it nice and tight, I think we could be on our way.
The only problem for former league players is adjusting to life at Forest Green. The latest recruit is ex-Bristol Rovers player Graham Day.
Well, obviously, yes. I came back from America thinking that there would be a very good chance I was going to get a league club. I still feel and hope that I will. But now I've been here a couple of weeks. It was hard to adjust the first couple of weeks, but it's a great setup here at Forest Green. It's a great bunch of lads, so it was easy. They made it very easy for me.
Winning Saturday's match is now all that concerns the players. Bob Marcel, though, has a few further ambitions for the club.
I'd like to take Forest Green in the Southern League. I'd like to take Forest Green in the Alliance League. The potential, the support and the team could be put here in a very short time. I think that's knocking on the door of 4th Division. I think that would be about utopia for me.
So good luck on Saturday, lads. I've heard tell that the weather's going to be...
They're hoping to take around 10,000 fans to Wembley for their FA Vase Final next month, and they reckon that their cup run will leave them £5,000 better off. Well, nearly 3,000 fans watched the vital home leg of their semi-final against Blue Star Newcastle. That's only 1,000 fewer than the entire population of Nailsworth. A special group of cheerleaders made it a carnival occasion, and the gate receipts of £1,200 made it a record day all round. They sold out of programmes, rosettes and scarves before the kick-off. Forest Green started with a 4-1 advantage from their magnificent win at the George's ground 2 weeks ago. There was only a brief silence when the visitors pulled a goal back to make it 4-2 on aggregate, but Forest Green held on to their lead, and nothing was going to spoil the occasion. The girls and then a marching band raised the spirits, and the crowd was soon shouting their side to victory. Well, they're arranging coaches and even a special train for the Wembley trip, and everything is pointing now to a new record Wembley crowd for the Vase Final. The team got back to winning ways on Monday with the win at Bicester, which virtually assures the side the Hellenic League title for this season. Well, there was jubilation at the end when victory was assured, and now the club are really going to town for the game. They'll be spending the night before the big match in London, as well as the night after. But despite all the expense, they're negotiating various commercial deals, which should see them make a profit from their marvellous cup run. Well, in one of the
80 seats left on the special train that's been hired to take supporters up to London on what should be the biggest day in the club's history. Well, the man who's guided Forest Green Rovers to Wembley is manager Bob Marcel. Bob, let's get one thing straight first. There have been reports that you'll be leaving Forest Green Rovers after the Wembley game. Is that true?
I have, as I explained a few weeks ago, an increase in our print side of the company, and
this is your own business.
That's
career.
right, yes. It is more on the sales side, which I am sales director of, and I believe in the next 3 or 4 months there will be a lot more of my time required than I have previously.
So, what are you going to try and do? Would you like to carry on as manager?
Of course, yes.
And what, get rid of some of the admin?
Yes, I think I probably always get involved too much, and I try and attend as many meetings as I can. I always am at coaching and training, and in the end it's taking 3 or 4 nights a week, plus Saturday, and usually 3 or 4 hours on the phone on the Sunday.
Right, now let's go on to Wembley. 2 days away. How confident are you feeling?
Very confident. We have done our homework on Rainworth. We've watched them twice, once in the Cup and once in the League. The side they're putting out, I was informed this morning, is the side that we've been watching, and we have designed our side for the day, the big occasion, against them and for Wembley.
How good are Rainworth?
They'll be an awkward side. They'll be a good side on the day. They're not a footballing side. They knock quick balls and they support and they run around an awful lot.
Now, you've dropped the team captain, Ken Hallam, for this game, so who's going to be captain in his place?
Well, I'm lucky. I've got 3 or 4 captains already in my side, and I've had them all season. So I've decided to give it to young Kenny Norman. And my reasons are that Ken, a year ago, was very upset. He was dropped out of league football with Torquay United. He joined us after being a couple of months with Gloucester and has done a superb job. He's played out of position. He's always had a smile on his face, and I think consistently he's been our best player.
And he's just, what, 21?
That's right.
Now, when you joined Forest Green Rovers halfway through last season, they really were doing terribly badly. They'd won just, what, 1 game, I think. What have you done to change the side?
Well, I've changed the players.
Simple as...
We need a skipper. And I've decided off my own bat to give it to the guy that I think has earned it over the league season. And I'll give it to you, Ken. You've been tremendous all season. You've played out of position, you've battled. And I think it's, you know, thing for you to do. Nice pride to you.
Thank you very much.
All right? You got 3 or 4 lads.
I was very surprised. It's the last thing in my mind. It was just a great honour to play at Wembley. And as I say, it's just captain now, being a captain.
How do you feel about playing at Wembley?
You know, it's my dreams come true, and just words can't explain it, really.
And if you win, which we hope you will, it'll be you who lifts the trophy for the Vase.
That's right. That'd be a great honour as well. I hope I can manage to climb the steps after 90 minutes.
8 of the team come from Bristol, the rest Somerset and Gloucestershire. Graham Day has seen the big time in America against Pelé, but even he's looking forward to Wembley.
Very much indeed, very much indeed. I'm really looking forward to it now. The last week has been, I've been getting more excited, more and more each week. And more each day, you know, and now it's coming the reality that I'm going to play at Wembley, which has always been any footballer's ambition, I think.
Your career has gone up and down a bit, really, so playing at Wembley now is really quite a boost.
Oh, without a doubt. When I came back, you know, looking for a club and seeing the situation of the league football and how many players are going to be out of a job, etc., I thought, well, there you go, it's going to have to be local football, and then all of a sudden I'm playing at Wembley, you know. I never thought I'd do that while I was playing professional, let alone in this kind of standard.
Bob, last time we spoke, Wembley was a dream. How does it feel now it's a reality?
It hasn't really sunk in yet, Graham, as far as I'm concerned. Everything's been going on to such an extent that I think Saturday, when we arrive there, the full effect will take hold of me, to be honest with you.
But there's a lot of pressure on a manager in Wembley week, isn't there?
Yes, I think probably the worst thing that I'm ever liable to do in my life was break 2 people's heart on probably their happiest day in football, what would have been. I had to drop 2 players. Very sad. They've taken it, they've gone back into the fold again, and I'm pleased that we've done it early enough, a week in advance, that everyone's attitude now is superb.
So the dream becomes a reality on Saturday. The team's confidence is high.
Well, as you said earlier, Graham, it's a dream come true. It's a chance of a lifetime. We are going to take our chance, and we're going to win.
And it's Rainworth, the Midlands side, that Forest Green play at Wembley. Forest Green Rovers apart then.
Sporting arenas in the world. Whatever the result tomorrow, they've been invited by Bristol Rovers to make a special appearance at Eastville before Tuesday's game with Oxford. And all being well, we'll bring you a full report from Wembley on Monday. On the league scene.
And in What's On, a couple of big names.
Without Terry Boyle at a civic reception at Nailsworth Town Hall in Gloucestershire. And with them, they'll be taking the trophy they won on Saturday, the FA Vase. It was the greatest triumph in the club's 92-year history, achieved in the world's most famous football stadium. Wembley was in festive mood for the final. And so were the fans who'd travelled all the way from Gloucestershire to support Forest Green Rovers. Around 4,000 of them had arrived by train, coach and car, but they were still outnumbered 2-1 by the supporters who'd come down from Nottinghamshire to cheer on their side, Rainworth Miners' Welfare. Bob Mursell, the Forest Green manager, led his team out onto the Wembley turf, having transformed them into one of Gloucestershire's top sides in just 18 months. And for all of them, this was the moment they'd been waiting for. Captain for the day was 21-year-old Kenny Norman, who was awarded the ultimate accolade by his fans in the crowd. And right from the moment the game started, Forest Green Rovers were on top, continually stretching Charlie Watson in the Rainworth goal. From the corner, the ball went back to Graham Day. And his long shot very nearly got through. And always there was a sporting response from both sides. Then after 23 minutes, Steve Millard broke away on the left. His cross was perfect, and Andy Leach was there to score. It was just the start Forest Green wanted, and their supporters saluted them. By half-time, that single goal was still all that separated the two sides. And the first 15 minutes of the second half saw Rainworth playing their best football, with Forest Green relying heavily on the skill of goalkeeper Dave Moss. Crowd trouble and arrests among the Gloucestershire supporters meant that several missed their side's second goal, slid home by Andy Leach. It was the crucial goal, turning the tide decisively in Forest Green's favour. Much of the fight had gone out of Rainworth, and careless mistakes almost cost them further goals. A terrible back pass left Steve Doughty with a chance he shouldn't have missed. And he knew it. Then, after 71 minutes, came the best goal of the game. Appropriately, it was the skipper, Kenny Norman, who'd made the game and the cup safe for Forest Green. And their supporters knew it too. So, a 3-0 victory, which hardly reflected Forest Green's superiority for the majority of the game. At the final whistle, Rainworth bravely acknowledged their supporters' cheers, but most eyes were on the victors as they lined up for that long walk up the Wembley steps for the presentation. It's the climax of every Wembley final and the climax of every footballer's career. And down below, savouring the atmosphere, was their manager.
Bob, you said it would be 3-0 on Points West. Did you think it really would be?
Yes. Yes, all the way along. I've seen us play a lot better, but we scored the goals. We were very tight at the back, and we put them under an awful lot of pressure.
A very emotional occasion for you?
Oh, it is, yes. I think it is for everyone.
It's been a marvellous season for Forest Green Rovers. They've also finished top of the Premier Division of the Hellenic League, and they move up to the Southern League next season. Then a quiet moment to admire the medal, but the rest of the team were determined to keep on celebrating. They all found extra energy from somewhere, even the oldest man in the side, 35-year-old Mickey Burns.
Absolutely tremendous, unbelievable. To go out there was an honour. To win as we did, can't believe it. Beautiful.
Pleased with the way you played?
Oh, delighted, absolutely beautiful. Look, beautiful. Hey?
You're never going to forget this day, are you?
No, finished today. Finished.
And what a moment to announce your retirement. But there were other heroes too.
Andy, what's it like to get your name up on the Wembley scoreboard?
It's great. When I scored the first one, I looked up and there it was. To get two is great. And I would have liked another one, but that's great, 2 goals.
And back in the dressing room, they were still singing, with the exception of the young skipper, who was sitting quietly on his own at the side of the room.
Kenny, how are you feeling now?
Over the moon. I'm just speechless, to be honest. I don't know what to say. The lads were tremendous and just capped the day. unbelievable.
What was it like being captain out there?
Well, there was 11 captains out there today. Everybody helped each other. It wasn't just me. Everybody was encouraging and shouting, and all the lads were fantastic, not just me.
What about that goal, Kenny?
I don't remember much of it, to be honest. The ball came to me, and I thought I was offside, but the flag stayed down. I just went forward. I see the keeper off his line, and so I just chipped it. Well, brilliant. I can't believe it. Unbelievable.
Marvellous day for Forest Green Rovers.
Tremendous, yeah. It puts Gloucestershire back on the map now. It proves we can play football. We went out and played football. That was the best thing about it. We'd never just kicked and rushed. We built it from the back and knocked it 1-2 all the time. It was lovely.
We won the cup. We won the cup. E-O-E-O, we won the cup. We won the cup. We won the cup. E-O-E-O, we won the cup.
The heroes of Forest Green.
Back and they're happy, singing for very good reason. This is it. This is the FA Vase, which for the next year is going to be living here in the West Stand. For the story now of how it came to be here, here's Graham Miller with this Monday edition of Sport. Graham.
Yes, it was like a fairy tale come true for little Forest Green from Nailsworth, who not only enjoyed the magic of an FA Cup final, they won it. And of course, we were there. Well, Forest Green may be in the heart of rugby-loving Gloucestershire, but on Saturday it was football that took pride of place. The sun shone on those famous twin towers at Wembley, and everyone was determined to have a memorable day. 4,500 fans made the journey from the West Country, not as many as was expected, but inside the ground they made the noise of twice that number. New skipper Kenny Norman was given the superstar treatment on the banners. Mickey Burns also got a mention.
It's every footballer's dream to play at Wembley, of course, and those that are lucky enough hope that at the end of 90 minutes they come here at the Royal Box to pick up their winner's medal. Bobby Moore did it for England back in 1966. Swindon, of course, did it in that magnificent League Cup victory over Arsenal 3 years later. And now in 1982, Forest Green are here.
And they walked into the arena to an almighty roar. This is the moment they'll remember, the first appearance in front of their fans.
Oh, tremendous, really tremendous. Something else. Can you see anybody in the crowd? Yeah, see them all. Pick them all out. All the ones I know.
As soon as the formal presentations were over and done with, it was on with the show. Rovers in their all-green strip did most of the early work. The Weymouth keeper was soon in action. And minutes later, good approach work brought another fine save. Well, then came the first of three special moments. Millard to Leach, and the net was bulging. 1-0 to Forest Green. The second goal came in the second half. It was Leach again, 2-0. The West Country fans were delirious with delight. And to cap a special day for the young skipper Kenny Norman, how's this for a perfect lob to seal the match? Any disbelievers only had to look at the Wembley scoreboard for confirmation. A marvellous win for Forest Green. The Weymouth team applauded their worthy victors, and then there was that familiar walk to receive the spoils of soccer success. Kenny Norman shows the FA Vase to the Forest Green fans, and the real celebrations began. Manager Bob Nacelle could hardly take it all in. He held the trophy with the care of a newborn baby.
Two goals, how do you feel now?
I feel great. Can you hear me talk? I've lost some.
Did you think you'd win it?
I thought we would, but it's great to win.
Are you going to hang on to the ball?
Probably jumper, yeah. It's the only one I've ever won.
What about scoring at Wembley?
Oh, it's a dream, isn't it? It's a dream playing here, but scoring too. Unbelievable.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
Well, Kenny, you're worried you wouldn't have enough energy to lift it. How do you feel now?
Oh, I feel I've just got just enough energy. Them steps took it out of me the most.
Oh, my God. Brilliant. What about that goal? It was magnificent.
Yeah, well, I see the keeper off the line. It was the only thing I could do. I see Mickey Burns do it last week, so I had to do it.
Hey, tremendous goal, isn't it? Tremendous goal. What about the support? Oh, fantastic, isn't it? Nothing like it before, and I'll tell you what, I wish I'd come here again next year.
In the dressing rooms, the players sang.
We won the cup. We won the cup. E-I-L-E-O. We won the cup. We won the cup. We won the cup. E-I-L-E-O. We won the cup.
Well, Forest Green have come all the way through the competition to the final here at Wembley, and now, of course, they've come out magnificent winners. Thank you, Graham. You interview me for a change. Come on, you interview me.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Best feeling so far.
Manager, a special memory of his team's victory. And this vase, magnificent it is, it goes on to a special reception tonight at the Nailsworth Town Hall. A memorable day. Well, there was also a remarkable get-together down at Taunton over the weekend.
Last night, when manager Bob Marcel and new skipper Kenny Norman showed off the trophy to their supporters. The team dressed up in the blazers they'd had specially made for the Wembley final, for the lap of honour of their Nailsworth ground. Forest Green, who are the Hellenic League champions, clinched their memorable victory over the Midland side of Rainworth with 2 goals from Andy Leach and a 3rd from Norman. Next season, they'll be playing in the Southern League.
And tonight,
when we also had quite a...
Welcome to Wembley Stadium for the 1982 Football Association Challenge Vase Final between Forest Green Rovers and Rannoch Miners Welfare. My name is David Carlisle of Personal Video Services, and my job today will be to introduce the players to you before the kick-off. As you can see, a good crowd of around 12,500 have made the journey to Wembley today, many of whom undoubtedly saw Forest Green beat Blue Star from the northeast 4-2 on aggregate in the 2-legged semi-final, and Rainworth beat Barton Rovers from Luton 2-1 on aggregate. Is being entertained by the band of the Metropolitan Police, who are directed by Captain Chris Taylor. And I invite you now to sit back for a while and enjoy them playing. emerge from the famous Wembley tunnel to the delight of their supporters. Rainworth on the far side, who will be playing in all white today, and Forest Green playing very appropriately in green today. Ranworth were founded in 1922 as Rufford Colliery. They adopted the present name some 15 years ago. Situated a few miles to the southeast of Mansfield, Ranworth compete in the Notts Football Alliance, whose secretary Ernie Wood tipped them as potential Vase finalists in some programme notes in November 80, despite the fact that their second campaign had left them still without a win. The club's achievement speaks volumes for the standard of the Alliance, which is composed of amateur clubs content to play their football in and around Nottingham. Indeed, the Ranworth players do not even receive expenses for their labours, which must hold some sort of a moral in these mercenary times. Forest Green, on the other hand, were formed in 1890. Rovers spent their early years in the Stroud and Dursley and District Leagues, before moving in 1922 to the Gloucestershire Northern League. They were founding members of the Gloucestershire County League and won the County Senior Amateur Cup 5 times, including 3 wins in a 6-year spell in the 70s. Moving on to the Hellenic League in 1975, they've been consistent performers, but prior to this season have never taken the title. Thus, having already clinched the championships, they come to Wembley in a relaxed frame of mind today. Today for Forest Green will be David Moss, who at 23 is a very reliable goalkeeper with agility to back up his safe handling and positional sense. Originally an apprenticeship with Norwich City, he moved to Trowbridge Town and Salisbury before joining Rovers this season. Playing at 2 will be Kenny Norman, who at 21 is a very young captain. He's a tigerish midfielder who started at Torquay United and had a spell at Swindon before signing for Forest Green this season via Gloucester City. Kenny can also play at fullback. At 3 is Peter Higgins, Welsh defender, aged 31, who turned out in the Football League for Bristol Rovers, Doncaster Rovers and Torquay. He's a member of Bath's Championship side. He subsequently moved to Clevedon before going to Forest Green in December 81. At 4 is Graham Day, who's a 28-year-old Bristolian defender, recently signed, having returned to England from Portland Timbers. Previously played for Bristol Rovers, where he made over 100 appearances. At 5 is John Turner, a versatile player who can play in virtually any position. He captained the county side whilst at Matson. At 33, he moved to Gloucester City before joining Rovers in October 80. Wearing the number 6 shirt today is Mickey Burns, who's an experienced 34-year-old midfielder who appeared regularly for Minehead and Bath City, where he also had a spell as manager. He joined Rovers in September 81 and grabbed the winner at Willenhall. At 7 will be Brendan Guest, a 23-year-old Nottingham-born. He can play in defence or midfield, with over 100 appearances for Lincoln City before moving to Swindon and Bath City. He's an England youth international and joined the club in February 81 and is their dead ball specialist. At 8 is Steve Doherty, a 20-year-old Gloucester lad who topped the County League's goal-scoring list with Frampton United last season before moving to Forest Green. At 9 is Andy Leach, who's a rangy centre-forward who played in the County League before joining Minehead, Bath City and Yeovil Town. He's a prolific goal-scorer, aged 32. He turned down an opportunity at Swansea. His first season at Forest Green, he averages a goal a game. At 10 is Steve Millard, a 31-year-old midfielder, noted for his passing vision. He played notably with Mangotsfield United and Taunton Town, where he had a taste of management. He joined in March 1981. Completing the lineup today at number 11 is Jimmy Jenkins, who's a 31-year-old, very valuable addition to the squad last January, having played for Minehead and Bath City, where he's a regular scorer. He's a fast and skillful player and can play in a variety of positions. Today's substitute for Forest Green Rovers is David Dangerfield. Started at Forest Green before moving to Swindon, having gained England schoolboy honours. Moved to Charlton Athletic and then to Cheltenham and Gloucester, returning to Rovers last year. David is 30. The teams today are being introduced to stand colours. And now everyone awaits the national anthem to show respect. In goal for Rainworth today will be Charlie Watson, who's a 33-year-old keeper who's been with the club for 3 seasons. A very safe handler with a long kick and good positional sense. At 2 is Dave Hallam, a police officer, aged 32, who joined the club 2 seasons ago. He's a powerful and proven goalscorer who uses his height of over 6 feet to good effect in the air. At 3 is Martin Hodgson, a back 4 player in his first season with the club. He strikes the ball well with both feet and is an aggressive tackler. At 4 is John Slater, aged 32, who plays in a midfield position. A good all-round player whose high work rate is his strong point, now completing 6 seasons at Ranworth. At 5 is Trevor Sterland, a very consistent, fast and powerful defender, who's a hard but fair tackler. Aged 33, he's been at Ranworth for 6 years. At 6 is Mel Oliver, 26 years of age. He has spent 6 seasons at the club as well. A very mobile defender who, despite his size, is good in the air and is sound on the ground. At 7 is Brian Knowles, a powerfully built player and strong tackler who plays in midfield but likes to get in the box whenever possible. In his first season with the club, he's 25 years of age. At 8 is Alan Rain, a midfielder in his second stint with the club. He's a brave and competitive player and is good on the ball and uses it well. 9 is Richard Radsky, who's the captain of Ranworth, a clever and brave striker with excellent ball control. Consistent goal scorer, yet another of the 6-season brigade. At 10 is Barry Rea, who operates in midfield and is a classy left-sided player with a good turn of speed and control. Barry is 29 and he too has served the club for 6 seasons. Completing the lineup for Ranworth today is Paul Comerford, aged 28, a very experienced winger with close control. A good crosser of the ball, he's in his 3rd spell with Ranworth. And the substitute today for Ranworth is Nigel Robinson, who's a 23-year-old winger who's been with them for 2 years. He's a fast and skillful player and on his day very difficult to contain. Your officials today, the referee is Mr. Kay Walmsley from Blackpool in Lancashire, and his linesmen are Mr. Hargrave from Houghton-le-Spring in Durham and Mr. Utting from Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk. The reserve linesman is Mr. Marshall of the Royal Navy. Brian Phillips, the Rainworth manager, has created a local team, and whilst as a qualified coach he ensures that every player is aware of his particular role, he believes coaching should not be restrictive. Rather, he looks for talented players and harnesses their ability for the good of the side instead of making them conform to a rigid pattern. Brian is a great motivator who gets great support from his assistant Jimmy McGowan with his insistence on the highest standards in training. Bob Marcel, who is the manager of Forest Green, has also concentrated on constructing a team rather than a collection of individuals. Although he has players of all-round ability, Bob himself played for Bristol City at one time as a winger and is certain that Wembley's open spaces will suit his team today. He will be ably assisted by physio Peter Tennant. I now leave you to enjoy what I'm sure will be a very exciting and enjoyable game.